It's all started in about 1999 when I was sent to, at the time it was called Supermax Correctional Institution. At the time I had nothing in my cell but a blanket. And then when I was sent to control status, I didn't even have a blanket. So it's a legit, let's take a look in the mirror and what do you see type of moment. And I didn't recognize what I saw. And I remember I was at the peak of my misbehavior and I was strapped to a concrete slab on a little, probably 1.5-inch mat with 9 straps across my body because I was out of control, gang banging on the correctional officers, just acting like an animal. And I remember looking up and that was my rock bottom. And I thought, how did I go from who I was as a kid with all the potential in the world to having a life sentence on administrative confinement in Supermax with really no end in sight. My name is Procell, and we are in the building of the Milwaukee Turners. I was able to get in a program called the Youth Awareness Program in Oshkosh. And it's a program where every single 7th grader in the Oshkosh School District is funneled through the prison in Oshkosh. Kind of crazy concept, but I feel it's very beneficial. Just going off the DLC numbers, there's about 10,000 kids that come in the prison system. And it was great, but it was tough sometimes because it's hard to get through to teenagers. The program would be over, you walking back to the cell hall and you think, man, I did not get through to that kid. And I can't speak for everybody else, but I can speak for everybody else, and you beat yourself up. It's like, man, what could I have done to get through to the former me? In 2007, the Milwaukee Journal did an article on me when I was inside and detailed the gang prevention work that I was doing behind bars. And so one day I'm coming back from work and back to my living dorm, and my name was checked on the mail list, which we all enjoy. We all love for our name to be checked for mail. And when I grabbed the letter, I saw that it was, the return label had my victim's last name on it. And time kind of stopped for me at that moment. I wanted the letter to berate me, to tell me that I was a piece of crap, that they hoped that I rot in prison and never see the light of day. And the letter couldn't have been further from a berating or a disrespectful tone. The letter was, thank you for what you're doing in our son's name. How can we help you? I still have those letters. They humbled me in ways that I can't really put into words, because here's this man who was writing his son's killer and saying, not only do I forgive you, but how can I help you do what you're doing better?
Procell served 23 years after a murder conviction when he was 15.
We're not trying to make everything better in one day. We can show them that the people that are in their minds used to putting them in prison are the very first people extending a hand when they get out saying, we need you to succeed. It's a game changer mentally, internally.
People who come out, sometimes they're in a position where they don't believe that hope is out there. And in truth, I mean, there's people that work in law enforcement that look around the communities that they're policing, and they don't see hope either.
But this room was filled with hope. It's their hope to build trust, community, and a better future.
We need to do something different. We can't incarcerate ourselves out of the problem. You look at any of the number of police-related shootings over the last couple of years, almost all of these people, not all of them, but a big majority of the people have criminal records. And so by default, they've been to prison and gotten out, and reentry has failed. And if these are the people that are having these bad interactions with law enforcement, now we see our two sides. We see the police, and we see returning citizen. Do we just keep complaining and saying, you're doing your job terrible, do it better? Or do we bring both sides together and humanize one another? And so that's what we do. We humanize the badge and we humanize the tattoo. And we've had guys ask, like, why did you shoot my brother? Or why did you kill my cousin? I hate you guys. And that's what we want to do. We want people to be honest. But the goal is to create one positive interaction between someone who's gone to prison and someone who has sent that person to prison. Because you can't have a second positive interaction if you don't have a first. The results are amazing. I mean, some of the transformations you see, words can't describe. The central door is a concept I've been working on for about the past year. It was really shocking to me that when I got out, I thought there would be this very organized reentry process in Milwaukee. And Milwaukee does have a lot of resources, but it's very siloed. And so my idea was, what if we created a central door, and it's an acronym for Department of Organized Reentry, where we bring every single reentry resource Milwaukee has to offer, put it under one physical roof. That way, when each inmate is released from state, county, or federal incarceration, or they've been sentenced to probation and don't go to prison, they still have access to the reentry resources that are needed. Because if they don't get them, obviously the next logical step is commit another crime and go to prison. I'm very slow to anger, but it is frustrating that literally 9 offices can save lives. And I get, things cost money, but it's really easy to look at it this way. Your society, that law-abiding citizen, they're gonna pay. Are you gonna pay monetarily on the front end, or are you gonna pay monetarily and in the creation of victims on the back end? And I refuse to fail, so at some point I'll make it happen. I don't know how, but I'll put my faith in God and the rest of us in Milwaukee that feel that this is definitely needed. And at the end of the day, I feel people are inherently good and want to make this world a better place, and this is one way to do it.